we have this cracked cross piece of trim here that's going to need to be replaced. We have these old pitted headlights. We're also going to address the scuffs and scratches on either side of the front bumper cover, this faded gray trim. You know, it never fails. You get 90% done with a job and then management shows up. Hey everybody, Big Mike here. Welcome back to the channel. In the last episode, we completely redid the front end of this 2004 Trailblazer. Link to that video will be in the description below. This time around, we're going to address the faded and worn gray trim all around this vehicle. We're also going to address the black trim on the mirrors and on the luggage rack. Now, there are three different ways to do this. There's the best way, there's a good way, and then there's the god-awful way. Now the best way is to get yourself some paint it, clear coat it, and that'll seal everything in for years to come. The good way is to use a trim restorer. The worst way, and I do not recommend this for any vehicle with plastic trim, is the heating method. We'll go over all three of these in just a minute. In the meantime, I've got some housekeeping I have to do. We got a lot of feedback on episode 1, and the biggest one that we got was runtime. It was a 37-minute video. So we're going to be making some format changes as the videos progress. We're going to try to keep it within a 20-minute time frame. As always, if you enjoy this type of content, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends. Let's help the channel grow. Our goal is to have 1,000 subscribers by New Year's 2024. So help us out with that. Here we are at the back of the vehicle where the UV damage to the gray trim is the worst. As you can see, it's kind of a pale albino elephant gray instead of the dark, luxurious gray that it was back in 2004. Now, ideally, we'd like to use method number 1, which is to get a plastic coating paint, spray paint it, and then maybe a satin clear coat to seal it in so it lasts for years and years and years. Problem is, here in the Midwest, it's 51 degrees today, and the optimal temperatures for spraying a spray paint or a spray trim restorer and clear coat is between 65 and 75. So we're not going to use method 1. So that leaves method number 2, because I am never, ever going to use the heat gun method, nor should you. Method number 2 is to use a trim restoration product, and there are many out there. The one we're going to use is called Trim Serum by Lithium. You can get it at Amazon, and I'll have the link to it down in the description below. This is a simple sponge-on application, and then wipe off the excess, just like you would waxing your car. So we're going to do that, and we're going to do all the gray trim, the black trim, the mirrors, pretty much everything that's trim on this car, and then we'll do some before and after shots. So, without further ado, and keeping it within the 20-minute time frame, let's get cracking. Back in episode 1, when we were redoing this entire front end, I noticed that when compounding the bumper cover, I actually brushed into the gray trim area here, and it came back almost to factory new. It looked fantastic. So I decided that I would just use the compound and do the entire front bumper cover. Now, this worked, but it only worked for about 2 weeks. I usually run my cars through a car wash every other day. And after 2-3 weeks, it started to run and fade and just started to fade back to that old pale gray. So compounding your gray trim will work, but it's only a temporary fix. In order to get started, we're going to need a tab puller, because this bracket right here is only held on by 4 little tabs, and then it comes right off. Okay, it's time to bring that gray trim back to life. Now we're going to be using Trim Serum by Lithium. It's available on Amazon, link will be in the description below, and a foam applicator, also available at Amazon, link in the description below. Now this goes on basically like wax. You wipe it on, you let it sit for a few minutes, you buff off the excess, and then let it cure 6 to 12 hours before you get it wet. So, we'll start at the front, work all the way around, and then we'll do the before and after shots. Here we go. Well, that's going to do it for the trim restoration, and the before and afters are absolutely amazing. The Trim Serum went on very easily and did its job incredibly well, as the before and afters are going to show you. They are absolutely amazing. So, here's the front end before and the front end after. Here's the side trim and running boards before. And here are the side trim, rocker panels, and running boards after. And probably the most amazing transformation at all happened on the rear bumper. Here's the rear bumper before. And here's the rear bumper after. And here's a fun fact. The longer you let that product set, the darker the trim got. So, let it set on there for 30 minutes if your trim is incredibly faded, and you'll get the most bang for your buck with this product. Now in the next video, we're going to revisit how the Trim Serum is holding up over a couple of weeks while we move on to the next project. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe and help us reach our 1,000 subscriber goal before New Year's 2024. As always, my name is Big Mike. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye. Okay, the trim product? No, project. Yes, we're going to move on to the next project. You know, it'd be great if I could just turn around and say, hey, yeah, we're going to move on to the next project without actually getting my tongue blocking my eye tooth and not being able to see what I'm saying. The first part of a product review. I would like to be able to say product review. Waiting on the compressor. Waiting on the compressor, still waiting on the compressor, still waiting on the compressor, and we're done.